Billy Joe Saunders, and if you haven't seen him fight, stay tuned. He really is exciting. And this is warming up nicely. Matthew Hall trying for the fast start at the beginning of the second half of this British and Commonwealth 11-stone title affair. But has Anthony Small worked out the way to beat him? And he's cut by the right eye. Matthew Hall. That's much worse than on the other side. So damage to both his eyes. And now there's a mini crisis. Is he going to try and fight through this?
Well, he has no choice. Adam is just going to have to do that. But Small is the one who's been showing a little bit of improvement over the last couple of rounds. Hasn't gelled into the kind of fight we expected.
Richie Davis there having a good look at the cut. And it was a head clash that caused it. But it was a worrying look from Richie Davis. And Hall might know he's on borrowed time as they go toe-to-toe. This is better. Right hand from Small, who's crisper.
That was the best punch of the fight so far. That was bang on the chin. I think that one has shaken Hall up a little bit. That was a beauty.
Good defence as well, and a right hand. And is he beginning to back up the boast? Starting to rev up the engine, Anthony Small.
Well, he is certainly the one whose work is improving. OK, there's desperation in Hall's work now, but he's leaving himself wide open, and he's been caught with full-blooded punches.
That is a really bad cut. I'm not sure that will hold out.
And these slashing punches that Small is throwing is going to worsen the injury. So he really is on borrowed time, Matthew Hall.
Takes a deep breath as he tries to go in again and unleash the body shots. So brave, Hall, but he's being countered. He's being hit with accurate punches.
Yep. The real quality punches in this round have certainly come from Small. There's more grit in his work now. He's pushing Hall back. He's meeting him head on. Really impressive. Now, this now is the kind of fight we expected, isn't it?
Just the added class in the work of Anthony Small, who's frustrated us for a few rounds, but maybe clever tactics. Hall whipping in a right hook. Trying his hardest, but he's walking into some of these, and it looks like it's getting harder.
Yeah, and the cut happening so soon in the round has given Small the full round to worsen the injury with these slashing punches I've been talking about. So we'll see what kind of job they can do in the corner.
This is what we needed. Great action at the end of that one. Wincing in pain, Matthew Hall. And Brian Hughes has a job to do. Can he come back from this, Jim?
Yeah, well, they're the head clash that probably caused the cut. Well, he's just going to have to deal with it. It's a nasty cut. It's not a long cut, but it's nasty. It's in a bad place. It's a place that can worsen. And no doubt we'll see a lot of left hooks from Anthony Small.
Blood already coming out of the right eye. And look at those odds. Small now 5-1 on to take these titles. A big swing, and the momentum is certainly with the Londoner, who really is beginning to show all of us what he's made of, and he just looks down at you at ringside. He's a confident fella, isn't he?
Yeah, I was speaking to him yesterday. I was having a chat with him, and he really is full of himself, but now he is beginning to produce. It's quite possible he's come in with a 12-round plan, a couple of rounds where he wasn't going to look so good, but he wasn't too bothered about it, and people will only remember the good stuff, and we're seeing some good stuff now.
Small
Hall not coming out with anything now.
He's trying still to dig the hooks in. It's all a bit one-dimensional from Matthew Hall. Not bobbing and weaving as he was earlier on, and Small with the experience of going into 10 rounds at least before. Richie Davis, I think, is going to have a look at the cut. Or is it the gum shield?
Yeah, I think he's come out without the shield. I didn't notice that myself.
I don't think he cares too much, does he, Matthew Hall? The throwback from Manchester.
He's just taken another clean shot to the chin, Hall. See, when you're against an elusive opponent, you waste so much energy forcing your work, and maybe that's what's happening with Hall. He's not been able to maintain the pace. He's a sitting target at times here. He's been hit far too easily. Whereas Small is looking full of fire.
The body shots we felt Matthew Hall would land, Anthony Small is. He's finding the gaps under those elbows. Just takes a deep breath himself. It's been a hot pace the last 2 or 3 rounds.
Looks as though, I don't know if it's just bleeding again or if it's worsened, but it looks pretty bad at the moment.
Bloody mask and body shots from Anthony Small. And Hall takes an uppercut. And again he's in desperate trouble in the 8th round. Right hand, he's going to go here. And the fight's over. Anthony Small has indeed backed up the boots. He's talked the talk, he's walked the walk. He is the British and Commonwealth light middleweight champion, and that was his best performance we've ever seen.
Yeah, well, it's as though he came into the ring tonight knowing exactly what he was going to do. He was going to remove some of the fire from Matthew Hall. He was going to circle, he was going to torment, he was going to frustrate. Then eventually at the halfway stage he was going to start standing his ground and using his own power. And I tell you, if that was his plan, it couldn't have been executed any better. Tremendous performance. He got better as the fight went along, and that is so important in a title fight. Tremendous finish. Hall, okay, desperation in his boxing because of the injuries. Small took full advantage of it, and these were hurtful punches. But the problem for Hall, it was being easier to catch as this fight was going along. He never really solved out the style of Anthony Small. And then suddenly the real devil, the real snap was being put in to Small's punches. He was catching Hall clean, bang on, with powerful punches, and you knew this couldn't continue. The signs of tiredness that we expected to see coming from Hall were actually coming from, from Small, were actually coming from Hall, and referee, no choice whatsoever but stepping in here, because the next punch, he was actually trying to go on the floor at that stage, but didn't manage to do it.
He's had his critics, Anthony Small, but he's a double champion. What a night for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 21 seconds in round number 8. Our referee in charge, Richie Davies, stops the contest. Fighter in no condition to continue. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. He is now the Commonwealth and British light middleweight champion, Anthony Small.